ask Reverend Sylvia now to present the message. And Reverend Sylvia has been very brave. She's wearing a special outfit she wasn't sure would be suitable for today. Welcome along, Sylvia.
Hello everyone. Lovely to see you all. So happy to be here. Good. Well, in a few days' time, we'll welcome in the new year, 2021. And let us affirm now that it will be a much happier, much healthier year than 2020. 2020 is a year we will be glad to forget. It's strengthening to know that we have the power within us to shape substance by changing our thoughts. And sometimes just a small change in our thinking can bring about a large change in our circumstances. We just have to believe in our own inborn thought power. And it will be so. So take this moment now to take dominion over your thoughts. You have the power to use your thoughts with confidence right now. Eliminate negative thoughts about yourself and replace them with the new positive thoughts. And picture in your mind the sort of person you would like to be in 2021. Visualize yourself living and acting in this new, more successful persona. Feel the new emotions that arise as you act more confidently, and give thanks as you see the changes emerge in your daily life. Keep in mind that you are a radiating center of loving God power, born of spirit, and you are the outlet for all of the spiritual inherencies, just waiting to be recognized and put into action. Of course, if you want to, you can just do nothing. Just step into the new year carrying all the old habits and all the old baggage, which means that nothing much will change. And you will just go on experiencing more of the same old, same old. You know, Jesus said that ye must be born again. Charles Fillmore writes, the first birth is the human, the self-consciousness of mankind as an intellectual and physical being. The second birth, being born anew, is the transformation and translation of the human to a higher place of consciousness as a child of God. The second birth is that in which we put on the Christ. It is a process of mental adjustment and body transmutation that takes place right here on earth. And all must go through this change before they can become as Jesus Christ is. And St. Paul told the Corinthians, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. So it seems that we must continue to rebirth ourselves throughout our lives until we finally take on the Christ nature. We become Christed. And this is the goal for all of us to achieve. And what a wondrous goal this is. But in the meantime, we can deliberately bring about many smaller rebirths by consciously visualizing and changing ourselves, our persona, every day, day by day. And you know, we have recently journeyed through Advent, a time of self-monitoring and purification, which has shown us that where we are dimming our light and pointed out the changes that need to be made in our consciousness and in our daily habits. So apt to make these changes now because you have the power to do so. The power we have to speak our word and bring about change has been known since ancient times. The great prophet Isaiah said, and I quote, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it." You know, I've repeated this verse many times over the years, as I just cannot understand that if this truth has been known over thousands of years, why have not more people used it to illustrate their own power and to learn and grow spiritually? However, truth students quickly discover that to think deliberately and with firm intent sets the law of attraction working, so that everything we need to make our thoughts manifest is brought to us at the very moment we need it. But if we keep changing our mind or get into the, oh, someday I'll do this or someday I'll do that mode, well, then the powers of the universe are immobilized. When we waver, the powers waver. They can't come to our aid until we make the firm intent and we state it firmly. Friday, I will do this. In February, I will do that. At 8 o'clock, I will broach the subject. The firmness of intent sets all the divine powers flowing into our plans to bring them into manifestation. So always use affirmations of firm intent. So turn inward, reach into the depths of your own consciousness to discover your own divinity, just waiting to direct you into your own God-ordained good. The deeper we delve into our own consciousness, the closer to God we become. We find our own God self. Along with this self-knowing, we also discover the still small voice that will speak its guidance to us, to give us spiritual direction, to help us make all our decisions, to bring us into the best outcomes possible in the prevailing circumstances. St. Paul advised the Romans to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So just how do we renew our mind? For one of the greatest discoveries of humankind was to discover that we can consciously, deliberately direct our thoughts into positive channels and so lift our personal world into a much better place. We can take control of our thinking by lifting ourselves from thinking automatically and aimlessly to direct our thinking purposefully toward much better outcomes. We can take negative thoughts and attitudes, turn them into positive affirmations, just switch them round from the negative to the positive and repeat until they have filled our mind with all that is positive and all that is good. As we monitor our actions to see that they only spring from a good motive, we can ensure that what we do is not just for ourselves, but for the upliftment of the wholeness of being in which we are all immersed. Along with the affirmations come the denials. The denial of any other power in our lives, except the power of the one and only God. But this does not mean that we deny negative feelings. We cannot paste a positive affirmation over a negative feeling and expect it to go away. It means that we take the time to explore the negative feelings, find out what is triggering them. Then we deny that they have any power at all over us. We then transform and transcend them by handing them over to God's guidance to be resolved. You know, when we take control of our thought processes and only think that which is good, constructive and wholesome, we discover that what we think about on the inner plane manifests in conditions and circumstances on the outer plane of life. And when we take the advice of St. Paul and think only whatsoever things are true, honest, pure, and of good report, that transforms all the old thought energy and fills our consciousness with all good. And new consciousness means new life. We are lifted up into our rightful place. Spirit flows in immediately to lift us into new situations, new opportunities to live our God-ordained good. So we need to focus on the good in all people. You know, it's so easy to look at those around us and see only their faults and criticize their irritations. When we make a determined effort to look past their humanness and see only their God selves, when we communicate only with their God self, then we know that we are bound together by the greatest power in the universe, the power of love, the love that brings peace and harmony to all things. You know, when we recognize that every human soul is implanted with God's love, just waiting to be expressed, then we realize that this is our destiny. We draw forth that love in our family and friends and in everybody we meet. For love heals all things, forgives all things, and powers the universe throughout eternity. So recognize your own power, enter into the love in your heart, and soon you will find that love in everyone. It will be returned to you in many, many wonderful ways. So as we step into this coming New Year's Day, let us make a determined effort to free ourselves of all negative thought and self-limiting concepts so that we can embrace all the wondrous opportunities of our new positive consciousness, our new horizons, lifting us up into new life. And then we can say with St. Paul, behold, all things are become new. Thank you.
Wisdom, isn't that wonderful? There's the truth. Some call it the simple truth. Is it? Maybe it is, but to put it into action, my goodness, here it is. It's right in front of it. It's not hidden. It's not ancient wisdom anymore. It's our current truth. Thank you again, Sylvia. You are amazing. And we see you happy, healthy, and fit for 2021. And it's a big year for you in May. We won't go into that now, but it'll be here before you know it.